And then what'd he say? And then what you do? Ooh, girl, I would have died.
It is the only food that koalas eat. They have no natural protein.
No way! Stop it! Oh my.
The word marsupial is from the Latin.
No! Yeah, what?
Reading
Oh, I'm just making some milkshakes. Milkshake?
paws with claws adapted for climbing in the country of Australia.
Watch your show on any TV in your house with Iris, the new HD multi-room DVR from Rev TV. Start watching in one room and pick up right where you left off in another. Call to get Iris in your house today.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into MB12, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, the man at the center of the Pinewood Gardens land dispute speaks out. Why a prominent attorney says he will be voting no in the upcoming gender equality referendum. A Jamaican independence celebration at Clifford Park. The owners of a home that runs completely on solar power, encouraging others to do the same. Plus, a controversial College of the Bahamas presidential hopeful speaks out. Happy Emancipation Day. I'm Paige McCartney. We've got those stories and more straight ahead on MB12. Welcome once again to MB12. Nearly a week since hundreds of Pinewood Gardens residents learned that the properties they thought they owned actually belongs to Arawak Homes, the man whose name became entangled in that bitter land ordeal has broken his silence. Dennis Dean says he's praying for those who were affected by the situation and that he has probably lost way more than anyone else. Kyle Joaquin has the story.
I commend people to hold on and give the opportunity to let God do this work. Keep hope alive.
Those are the words of Dennis Dean encouraging the hundreds of residents in Phase 2 of Pinewood Gardens and a portion of Nassau Village to be strong after a Privy Council ruling handed down last week confirmed that all the land in that area belonged to Arawak Homes. In an exclusive interview with NB12, Dean said he wants to clear up one thing, and that he was not the one who sold plots upon plots of land to aspiring homeowners. He says, in fact, he only purchased just over 20, which he happened to have lost to Arawak Homes in a long and drawn-out court battle. On those lots, Dean built a preschool worth $275,000, now operated by the government, 3 fourplex apartments at a cost of $660,000, and 2 duplex apartments worth $350,000, everything adding up to over $1,227,000, which Dean says now belongs to Arawak Homes.
It was an investment for myself that when I get much older, I can rely on for when my children go away to school. Now my daughter's going away to college. I don't know how I can provide that, but God still's on his throne. But this is an investment I invest. I'm a builder. We intend to put our money to use, not to sit on it, and I just invest my money. And things just turn for the worse.
Now, as you can see, all of these apartments are empty as the tenants have already been evicted. You can also notice that vandals have made their way inside the building and have taken what they wanted.
Dean says his story reminds him of Job in the Bible and that for him, this is just his test. He says he has nothing against Arawak Homes, but just hopes they would give the homeowners involved a chance. However, his attorney, C.A. Martin, wants all those homeowners to seek an attorney, as he says he won a court battle against the company before, and he's sure it can happen again.
Homeowner or occupant in the Nassau Village, in the Pinewood Garden, Linden Pinling area, should ever accept the baseless claim of Arawak. No, we're too intelligent for that.
Arawak Homes has given the homeowners involved a 12-month period to contact them so they can begin to regularize their titles, or legal action will be taken. However, Martin says he doesn't feel the company should impose an ultimatum on the homeowners. He adds that if they feel the property is theirs, then they ought to do what they must and take action. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
And prominent attorney Wayne Monroe says Bahamians are treading on dangerous territory with the upcoming constitutional referendum and should think through before marking an X to change decades-old laws that speak to gender equality and citizenship. Recently, in the House of Assembly, Prime Minister Christie tabled 4 bills to amend the country's constitution. However, Monroe says he's certain that he's not the only Bahamian who feels the Constitution should not be touched, especially when it comes to immigration.
And I see no need to change it. If you wanted to adjust matters, I would have thought immigration policy is the better way to do it. Because once you change the Constitution, it takes another constitutional referendum to change it back if you decide you've made a mistake.
Monroe says come November 6th, he will vote no to every single question on the ballot.
Well, I'm likely to vote no on all of the issues on these bills. If most Bahamians vote no, then the referendum wouldn't pass, and the bills, even if they pass in Parliament, would be of no effect. If people vote yes, then I'll just sit down and watch the consequences of what the people have voted for. That's how democracy works. And all over the world, you see some people vote for things that ultimately ruin their country. But that's how democracy works. If you vote for ruin, that's your choice.
Christian Council President Reverend Dr. Ranford Patterson has predicted a low voter turnout in the upcoming referendum after government announced it would move to regulate web shops even after Bahamians voted no in last year's gaming referendum. Monroe maintains there was no need for a gaming poll, and for those not interested in voting in this one, he says government has no choice but to honor the results.
You cannot change the Constitution without a referendum, and therein is the difference. You can change gaming laws without a referendum. You cannot amend fundamental provisions of the Constitution without a referendum. And so the Bahamian public, from that perspective, ought to take this referendum seriously.
Monroe says he hopes the constitutional education campaign is effective so people won't vote out of ignorance. He says, as it stands, there are too many Bahamians with no knowledge of these issues.
I don't see the need for changes about our citizenship provision when the Commission itself said in its report that most Bahamians who were giving opinion about the need for change did not themselves appreciate the Constitution. So if you do not appreciate what you have, you may quite easily ask to change it without understanding what you're asking to change and the potential results of the change.
As for web shop legislation being pushed back to accommodate debate on the constitutional bills, Monroe says he fully understands as that should come first. Well, the man who is the first choice of many at COB to head the institution is speaking out. Dr. Rodney Smith says it would be an honor and a privilege if he's offered the position while acknowledging the public dialogue questioning if he's the right choice to lead the college to university. In a statement released today, Smith said he takes full responsibility for a mistake he made 9 years ago that he deeply regrets and caused him embarrassment. Smith said the mistake will never happen again and that he's determined to use his experience to teach others about the importance of exercising good judgment in academia. Smith is referring to allegations of plagiarism that resulted in him resigning as college president in 2005. It has caused many to publicly question if he should be at the helm of the nation's tertiary institute again. The statement added that he harbors no animosity toward those who have questioned the appropriateness of his selection and that he's grateful for the show of trust and support from the faculty, staff, and students of the college. It was announced last week that Smith was chosen by the College of the Bahamas Advisory Council to be president. The matter is now left for cabinet to determine if Smith should be appointed or if the council should continue its search. Well, as the Bahamians everywhere celebrate Emancipation Day with events like Fox Hill Festival featuring late-night junkanoo rushing, the Jamaican community here in the Bahamas is also celebrating. It's their country's 52nd independence this month. The Hummingbirds Association this afternoon hosted a massive fair on Clifford Park where it had a variety of native dishes, drinks, and entertainment, as well as scores of Jamaican nationals showing their pride.
I feel excellent, happy to be alive to be celebrating another 51 years, and just to let my age, I'm 51 too. So I am more than happy to be here with Miss Jenny. Miss Jenny is my friend, And I have my granddaughter and my sister and my friend, Miss Bevier, and we are celebrating. Happy Independence! Happy Independence, Jamaica, Bahamas, I love you!
These are frozen desserts, non-dairy, gluten-free, no additives, all natural, tropical flavors. We have sorrel, tamarind, guava, passion fruit, mango, gully wash. Anything you want that's cool and refreshing, we have it.
Real jerk. Yeah, real jerk. Just, hey, real jerk. We like kids, so we're next to the kids' corners. I ask everybody to show you where real jerk is. We have some fake jerk right now, but we big them up still. You know, you don't know it go. Yeah.
Now, Jamaican independence is really on August 16th, but President of the Hummingbirds Association, Hubert Edwards, said Jamaicans here prefer to celebrate on Emancipation Day with the Bahamian community. He says, when you look at it, we're all one nation and should start behaving like that.
One of the aspects of this function is that we have a back-to-school giveaway. And we have literally hundreds of bags, school supplies, books, and so on, which will be given out later. And as you can see behind us, there's food, there's drink, there's a lot of natural things which are associated with Jamaica. And we're just here to have fun, and we're inviting everybody to come out and, you know, enjoy with us.
Now, there was a bit of controversy surrounding the celebrations being held on Clifford Park. However, Edwards says it doesn't bother him. He says he's just glad they get to have the event on the park for a second year in a row. Now, here's kind of a different story. In the summer of 2012, Andrew and Minette Williams' electricity bill at BEC was pushing close to $3,000 a month. They, like many Bahamians, struggled to find the money to afford the necessary utility. Fed up, the Williams disconnected themselves from BEC's grid and went completely solar-powered. Now the family of four's electricity bill is just $5 a month, the cost of the meter box.
We initially started going solar in 2012. Okay. September 2012. Because of high utility costs, we couldn't afford to keep on such a high bill for utility. So we decided to start learning about solar, and my husband started installing the system. Okay. We were totally disconnected September of 2012 from utility. And until where we are now today, we are totally solar.
The Williams have invested approximately $55,000 in solar power equipment that keeps their home running with all major appliances, including central air. The sun directly powers the house in the daytime from panels attached to the roof that transmit energy to a motherboard type station and then transfers that energy into electricity used by the house. And at night, the power is stored in a shed holding more than 100 batteries.
So why do you need so many batteries?
To give me the amount of amps.
Okay.
Now I could have lesser battery in this because it depends on my pocket, so I went with a smaller, lower amp.
Okay.
According to my pocket, I could go on to the 2 volts, 300 amps.
Okay.
I could have been roughly for 40 batteries.
So tell me how long this will last, this battery storage, the energy in these batteries?
This storage is for 2 days.
Okay. Okay, so if BEC was out for 2 days, you have enough electricity.
Well, right now I don't have BEC. I have solar.
The Williams said they've already paid off their investment by not having to spend that money on electricity bills. But they say you don't have to spend as much as they did to get started on your home being solar powered. They suggest doing it in stages. The Williams said it adds so much value to the property, among other benefits.
You could be saving, also put value to your property. Let's say if you was to sell your house, it wouldn't be on the market too long because people buy it because of energy efficiency.
We're totally off of utility, so that's why we need the battery backup storage at night.
Okay.
The sun is providing the energy to store in the batteries for night use and then also supporting our load in the day. For example, running our appliances.
And the Williams said over the past few weeks, while most Nasuvians were lamenting the BEC blackouts, they were resting comfortably at home, unaware of all that was happening. When MB12 returns, the attorney for several web shop owners outlined some of the group's concerns in the wait leading up to the tabling of the gaming bill amendment. Stay with us.